Are you a gamer? Me too. And as a gamer, I have intricate, deep knowledge of all of our strengths and weaknesses. And no matter how hard you work, there will always be one weakness that I'm going to exploit right now. A single word that can induce vomiting in even the strongest, most seasoned of gaming barbarians. And that word is Fextralife. It was tough even getting that one out. If you've ever played a new game, you've probably Googled something about it, and among the first links on the search results is Fextralife. And it is such a scourge. Nobody goes to Fextralife on purpose. It's like falling into the back rooms. It's this thing that unfortunately happens all too often when a new game comes out and you want some information or a guide on it, so you just Google it and you click the first link and all of a sudden you accidentally just paid a visit to Fextralife. And it is such a tragic betrayal. It feels worse than finding out your partner's cheated on you. Fextralife is a wiki on pretty much anything new that's come out, but they also indulge in some very shady practices that I want to talk about today. But just to talk about the website itself, I and very many others are not huge fans of this site. I personally have never really found anything of value there. It really seems like Fextralife is so consumed with the idea of being first to guides on games that they don't bother to make sure that it's right or good. So if you go to like the Elden Ring section on Fextralife, and trust me, I did when the game was still new and I was looking things up, some of what they presented there was just legitimately wrong or incomplete. So you just get like halfway through and it's like, okay, what now? Oh, it's not here on Fextralife. Because it seems like all they care about is just being first and taking advantage of that wave of new people that are just really trying to get information. You would honestly have better luck finding quality guides in a YouTube comment section than on Fextralife. So I don't really like this site that much, but that's not even what we're here to talk about. It just being a subpar wiki site isn't exactly the most interesting topic. I'd like to speak about the slimier, greasier side of this organization, because they're no stranger to scandals here. They see controversy and they fucking tap dance on it. They go a bit wacko mode. They have, for many years, been accused of certain things on Reddit, the land of the updoots, most recently with Baldur's Gate 3. They have actually just been blacklisted from a subreddit called Baldur's Gate 3 Builds because they were suspected of vote manipulation, downvoting links to the community wiki, and using bots to keep Fextralife on top while throwing more things that compete with them into the garbage, flushing that shit right down the toilet. And this isn't the first time they've been accused of using bots for similar purposes. A while back, the Dark Souls community also had some very strong accusations against Fextralife for other manipulative tactics used by them on the community posts and subreddit. So Fextralife is just negatively viewed by pretty much everyone, even outside of just the quality of their wiki pages, also heavily criticized for the way they conduct themselves and the way they try and keep Fextralife on top, artificially, supposedly. Now, the Fextralife owner has responded to all of the conversation and hoopla going on right now about them. The biggest one, and the one that I'm mainly going to be focused on, is the cooking of the books with their Twitch numbers. That's a big topic that's been around for many years, and they do talk about this here. But just to piggyback on the back of this Reddit accusation, they're coming forward and saying that, nope, that's a bunch of horseradish. Not real, not true, that's not us. We didn't use bots, and in fact, they even said, I didn't know Reddit bots were a thing, which is complete hogwash. What do you mean you didn't know Reddit bots were a thing? Yes, you did. Everybody knows that. It's totally fine to come defend yourself against the accusations and point out, logical inconsistencies or the evidence isn't strong enough. But why tell a bold-faced lie like that in your defense? I'm so innocent, I've never even heard of bots, I think you called them. The only bot I know is the Autobots. We don't even know what this is. We're so innocent. That's the weirdest defense attempt. Why would you say that? Bots are a thing on every platform everywhere, and everyone knows it. Bots are a thing on Twitch as well, which Fextralife is no stranger to, since Fextralife is basically botting all of their Twitch viewer numbers thanks to their embedding video practice that they use. I'm sure bots isn't the preferred nomenclature for Fextralife when it comes to their viewer numbers. They might use something a little more bubbly, a little more PR friendly, like less than sentient spectators, or perhaps blissfully unaware viewers of the Fextralife stream. But this has been a controversial hot topic for quite a few years now. This comes up at least once or twice a year. If you have ever gone on Twitch during a new big game release, within the first or second on that page is Fextralife. They have like an average of 30k viewers when a game is new, and if they're playing an older game, they'll still average like 10k plus. But if you ever click on their stream, you're gonna smell something a little fishy in there. It gets a bit stinky in the swamp because there is no chat activity. Maybe 2 or 3 people chatting to each other in a 30,000 person stream, which is very odd. 30k is huge. They are among one of the biggest channels when it comes to concurrent viewers, at least when new games are present, and no one's talking. 30,000 viewers on their stream, but their chat is a goddamn ghost town. It's an absolute barren wasteland. You'd find more life in Chernobyl than you would in a Fextralife 30,000 plus viewer stream. So how is that possible? It has to do with a very controversial practice they engage in called embedding, where they embed their Twitch stream on their wiki site. And not just on the front page, on every single page of their site. So let's say you open the Elden Ring Fextralife page. You'll see that the stream is in the top left. They're currently offline as of me making this video, but when they're online, it would be right there. And now let's say you want to go deeper, you're looking at like build guides or something. If you go to one of those pages, the stream is also embedded there. It's on every single page of Fextralife, their stream is embedded, meaning no matter where you go, you will count as a viewer for their Twitch stream.
Sitting here, 30,000 viewers. The chat slower than fucking a 200 viewer streamer. This is pathetic. Twitch doesn't give a fuck, yeah. And that's the thing, is like, how are we really gonna get mad at them? They're just playing the game. They're not breaking any rules. So as you can see right here, inside of their wiki here, they have the stream embedded in this tiny little box. And this tiny little box here is why they have 31,000 viewers.
Now, I have seen conflicting reports where if you open multiple Fextralife tabs, you will count as multiple viewers since it's embedded on each one, but I haven't seen like 100% concrete confirmation that that's how Twitch would calculate that, but there is a bit of evidence to suggest that it might. So I just want to put that out there as a possibility. Take it with a grain of salt. That is something that's been being discussed as well, because since it is embedded on every page, a lot of people like me open many tabs, so I might have like 3 different Fextralife tabs open, and that's 3 different embed sources. So I guess it could count as 3, but again, I'm not sure 100% if that's true. But what is true is you do count as a viewer when you are on Fextralife, no matter what page you're on. You are absolutely not watching the stream. I have no doubt anyone's... There is literally 0 sentient human beings with a fucking pulse that are watching the Fextralife stream on the Fextralife website, because it's a tiny little box that just hides away in the top left, and no one's going to be watching it on that. It'd be like watching it on a Game Boy Color. Like, it's fucking worthless. No one's doing that. It's there just to gamify those numbers and pump that shit up. Like, absolutely skyrocket their viewership numbers on Twitch while adding no real organic viewers to it, and obviously no one in the chat. Now, another thing, most people, like me, will keep these tabs open for a long period of time. So even if Fextralife's offline right now, if I just keep this tab open, when they go online, I'm counted as a viewer even if I'm not home. Like, even if I forget the tab's open, I'm still counted in their viewership numbers. And to prove just how prevalent this is with viewers that are just accidentally watching Fextralife because they have the tab open somewhere, a streamer named Quinn went into their offline stream after Fextralife had concluded and just did a command that showed how many viewers were still there even though the stream wasn't going on. Now, this is something that does exist on normal Twitch streams with normal people watching them. There is something called like an offline community where if a streamer goes offline, there's pockets of people that'll hang around and just talk to each other in the offline chat, but not very many. It's a small number compared to the overall viewership. But for Fextralife, it's almost their entire fucking viewership is still in their stream even when they're offline, meaning it's just people that have a Fextralife wiki tab opened somewhere, not actually a viewer of their stream.
Surely my anguish and despair will ring on someone's ear.
23,000 current chatters. Okay, dude. All right. I'm a day streamer, boys. I guess this is what a 23,000 person chat looks like, guys. It's not a... You're disgusting if you insinuate that there's not 23,642 people right here, right now. You are fucking disgusting for implying that these are view bots and they're not actually there. Okay? Literally 23,000 people in his offline chat. Come on.
Yeah, it's pretty outrageous. So the offline chat was over 23,000 current chatters. So meaning that's 23,000 people in the stream right there, and not a single message. And also, there's no such thing as an offline chat that has 23,000 people in it. Not even the biggest streamers in the world have anywhere close to that as an offline chat number. That is people that are just on the Fextralife wiki with tabs open. They're not actually watching the Fextralife streams. It's fucking ridiculous. Now, it is important to note, Fextralife is not the only stream that takes advantage of this embed protocol. Like, they're not the only ones that employ this tactic, but they are the ones that are the most egregious because they paste it on every single page on their wiki, and there's tons of pages you can't avoid it. And obviously, whatever they're streaming isn't going to be relevant to every single page on their wiki site. It's people that aren't actually watching the stream. It is no different, really, than viewbotting, which is an argument people have been making for years. And naturally, this discussion always inevitably ends up with asking the question, why doesn't Twitch stop it? And the answer's super simple. Why the fuck would they? This only helps Twitch. These big numbers are great for Twitch. This looks fantastic for them. There is no downside to allowing streamers to embed their streams everywhere else. It's a free advertisement for Twitch, free numbers that help everything on their platform. Like, Twitch has no incentive to shut that down at all. Even though it's very clear that 23,642 people aren't actually in the Fextralife offline chat or watching their streams, it doesn't matter, because it only serves to help Twitch. So why would they put the kibosh on something like that? They allow it, and Fextralife isn't breaking any rules. A lot of people have said, don't hate the player, hate the game, and they're kind of right. Fextralife is not breaking any rules. They are legally viewbotting their streams, and have been for a very long time, proudly. So this has obviously been controversial for a while, because, as you might imagine, this doesn't help other streamers, because Fextralife will always take either the number 1 spot or the number 2 spot in a brand new game release, and they're not actually having people watch them. It's fake, phony numbers because of the way they embed their streams on their site. So it takes those spots away from streamers that deserve it more, who actually do have communities that watch their streams. They no longer have those slots that Fextralife takes up. So obviously it makes a lot of streamers, when a new game comes out, mad because they can't compete with Fextralife viewbotting, fundamentally. It's been that way for a long time, and I don't see it changing, but a lot of people are talking about it again, so I thought it'd be an interesting topic to discuss again, especially considering this time around the owner has spoken about it. So this is their response to all of the viewbotting allegations. They state that a viewbot is when you use artificial and non-existing browsers to inflate views on Twitch, and that does try to fool advertisers because A, it plays an ad, and B, nobody is watching. Real quick before continuing, they're getting a bit lost in semantics here as opposed to making real arguments on how what they're doing is different. Fextralife streams often have sponsors, and sometimes very big sponsors. I imagine they sell their streams with their concurrent viewer average, which is like between 10 and 30,000 viewers. It's huge. But most companies probably aren't going to really look into that, so they're going to assume their ad is being seen by 10 to 30,000 people. It's not. As is very clearly illustrated, 23,000 of those people aren't actually even in the stream. They're on Fextralife with the stream pulled up muted in some tab, not even aware that it's going on. So these companies aren't actually getting their ads placed in front of 30,000 viewers. They're getting it placed in front of, I have no idea, maybe a few hundred, maybe 1,000. There's really no way of knowing, because there's no real activity in their stream to judge it on or anything remotely like that. So it really isn't different than a viewbot. When you do play an ad on Fextralife, nobody is watching. Same way as if you would play an ad during a stream that is just completely viewbotted in the traditional sense. Nobody is watching the Fextralife ad that the company has paid for, even though there's 30,000 viewers. I would love to see the back end of a return on a Fextralife sponsorship, because I imagine it has to be unbelievably low since most of the viewers are from the embedded Twitch streams. So it is misleading to advertisers, which is another criticism a lot of people have put forth, and I think it's very valid to say that, because again, most of the viewers are not actually watching the Fextralife stream. They then say embedding is an advertisement of the stream to real people on real browsers on an external website. Like any integration, the objective is to get people to click and go to Twitch. No advertisements are played on the embedded unit, generating zero revenue. Embeds are part of the intended code of Twitch and are intentional features that anyone can use, and many content creators besides us do. These are real people that we have worked tirelessly to build up into our community. What community? You tirelessly built up an imaginary community. The Fextralife community you refer to is more made up than the Tooth Fairy. There is nobody in your Twitch streams. Nobody. Like, I can't tell if they're being intentionally delusional here or if they actually think that what they're doing is somehow totally, the same as just building up a normal community. It's not. Your embedded Twitch streams are not driving your Fextralife wiki readers to your Twitch stream. There is no call to action to it that I've ever seen. It just automatically is playing whenever you're on any page on Fextralife. How the fuck can you possibly make an argument saying that what you're doing is just an advertisement to get those people on your wiki to the streams? Because it's not. The streams aren't even relevant to what your readers are reading. What's being streamed is completely separate from whatever they're on your site to read about. There's no chance that the two could even connect most of the time, unless of course it is a new release like Armored Core, then I'm sure there is some crossover where someone went to Armored Core, Fextralife, got some bad information, but saw you were streaming and was like, okay, maybe I'll check it out. That's possible, but that's clearly not the goal. If that was the goal, you would only embed your streams on the newest releases because they'd be relevant to each other, as opposed to just having it embedded on every single page where it makes no sense. Why would an Armored Core 6 Fextralife stream be playing on my Dark Souls 3 Fextralife wiki? And how the fuck would you possibly think that I'm on Dark Souls 3 wiki but might want to watch Fextralife streaming Armored Core 6? It's just, that is a nonsensical statement to try and say that your embeds are only there to try and get people from your actual wiki to your streams. That's not the goal. The goal is just to artificially inflate your numbers because it's automatically playing and they count as viewers. What embedding does for me is make my website audience aware I'm a person, I'm streaming, and I can show them games that I think they'd be interested in. Again, that argument doesn't work when the website is all about game information. It's not a personality-driven site. They're not going to Fextralife hoping that they'll see that Fextralife is also live on Twitch. They're going there because they're looking for guides and information on the game that they are currently playing. That doesn't make any sense. What embedding does for Twitch is give them free advertising for their platform and an ongoing conversion from our website to Twitch. These new people were not on Twitch otherwise, and they're still not on Twitch. They're not going there. They're not going to Twitch. You can tell because there's no one in your chat. I don't know why they keep trying to say that. Yes, it is a free advertisement for Twitch. It's free numbers for their metrics, absolutely. But they're not actually getting new people to Twitch that weren't already endemic to Twitch. They're not bringing new viewers there. They're just idly on the Fextralife wiki and it counts as a view on Twitch. And then they say they hopefully come back and become part of the Twitch ecosystem. It doesn't happen. Our embed is by no means a secret. It's very visible. In fact, it's the best possible spot on our website, and there's even a command for it on our channel. And as part of the channel rules, the idea that it's a fraud is also absurd. Our sponsors are aware of the embed, and it's a great deal for them to be able to promote their content on both Twitch and to our site users at the same time, particularly in the prime location that the embed has on our website. So this is very interesting to me. The sponsors are aware of the embedding. That's great. Are they also aware that the vast majority of your Twitch metrics come from that embedding? And are they also aware that that means it's muted? That means that their sponsorship package, the ad read, all of it, the vast majority of those numbers that it's being put in front of aren't even aware it's going on because it's muted and it's not visible. It's a very tiny box. Do the sponsors know that? I certainly hope so, because that would be very shady if you didn't make the sponsors aware that their ad read is going to be muted for the vast majority of the audience, and it's not going to be seen by them either because the box is too small and the viewers aren't actually on Twitch. I would hope you'd make them very well aware of all of the shortcomings of doing an ad with Fextralife, since most of the viewer numbers come from a fucking tiny embed on a completely separate site that, again, is also muted. So hopefully you have made all of your partners aware of that. The owner does continue going on to other criticisms people have put forth against Fextralife. such as like AI driven content or it being lazy, stuff like that. But that wasn't the focus of what I wanted to talk about today. The statement is still very much up if you want to see how they defend themselves against other claims. But these were the main things I wanted to talk about in regards to this situation, because this is a conversation that comes up at least once or twice a year. And it is a very interesting one about embedding, view botting. It is an interesting topic that I just wanted to talk about a bit, since a lot of other people are also discussing it. And I think it's something worth going over. So that's really about it. See ya.